Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to this Storytelling Tuesday. Oh, look at that. I forgot I had this hat on. It's my old Santa Cruz Team Rider hat. I don't know. Should I put on the women before? Hey, Darren's Northern Life. What is up? Uh, I gotta find the women. Give me a sec. Gotta find the women. There we go. I found the women. Hey, Jones or Jose S. Sorry. Ugh. Ow. Sorry, guys. Ah, I'm uh I'm not in the best conditions today. I actually almost canceled the live. It's because, well, the story I'm going to tell before I get into the actual tournament story about about my last 2 days. Yeah, I have a story about the last 3 days, and it leads to why I'm kind of might not be in the best of moods today, or seem like I usually am. And also reason why I'm back to just regular beer. It kind of actually coincides with this story too. Wait and see if we get some more of our regulars on here first. I mean, you guys don't mind. You got them to look at. Does it need to go lower? I don't know. It just has to be really low so you can see them. They get too washed out on the phone if they're not like at a really low brightness setting. Oh yeah, guys. Wait till you hear this story. It's a good one. Yeah. Oh, there's just fish. Yeah, I put them on. Figure that might capture the people to get in here. Uh, Hopefully, yeah, we're starting to get people now. That's a good thing. Oh yeah, we're starting to get more. Hello, big worm. Yeah, everyone always laughs at those because of all my running up and down from the waves. It's always one of the most entertaining parts of me at the beach, either the striper or the surf perches. Me turning and running from the waves. But I don't know. The beach scares me. It like totally scares me. So that's why I run a lot. I see a wave coming and I run because I don't want to get washed in, or I only have those like knee boots, so I get smashed. Other than that, but yeah, I remember Bass Geek said that one time too. Bass Geek said it was in one of the comments. He says, "I hate to say this, but every time you turn and run for the waves, I laugh." I'm like, well, it's funny because yeah, I don't want to get taken in or washed out, especially when they come from the side, like they come up behind you, and they're coming back down at you, where they hit you and they dig the sand out of your heels. And I hate that part. Oh, this beer does not taste good right now. Ow. I just kind of wanted to have one because I wanted to, once I get this through the story, I'm going to tell you, you'll know why I kind of want to relax a little bit. Anyway, this tastes terrible to me right now. Uh, put some lemon in it. No, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Maybe if they're ever in the area, I can invite them down and we can have like a meet and greet with all my girlfriends, frolicking and fishing at the beach. It's too cold here for them to be in that though. Yeah, meat. Did I spell it wrong? Did I pronounce it wrong? It's MEE, not MEAT. Maybe it sounded like I pronounced it wrong. All right, well, I got some of you guys in here, and yeah, I have a really good story about what my life's been like the last 3 days. Uh, it all started out on well, 3 days ago. I'm so lost. I don't even know what day that is. What's today? Monday? Saturday then? Um, I was filming a show at El Estero. But I've done some carp videos because a lot of people ask me to fish for carp more. So I did 2 videos there. And when I got ready to leave the last day, all of a sudden when I got up and all of a sudden I had this, it was like a pain in my stomach. And then all of a sudden it sort of really quickly shot up into my chest. And it was on the right side of my chest. And then it just turned into this like most intense like chest pain. Like seriously like burning, not chest pain. And at the same time, I think it was because I was editing beforehand and that my left arm was hurting. And you know what they say about heart attacks, like chest pain, pain in your left arm, and that. so, so yeah, so I was like freaking out, right? Because I mean, it just happened out of nowhere, but it just, and so I don't know how I did it, but I actually drove home, and it's like, I think like 3 times in my head on my way driving home, I said I should turn myself around and go to the hospital because I just this that it's classic. I'm 52. You never know. But I actually said no, no, no. I go to the doctor all the time. I haven't tested. No, no. And so I actually stopped twice on the way home and shopped before I came home with this like totally intense freaking chest pain and my left arm kind of sort of a shooting pain down it. And so I got home and I'm like, I grabbed my phone. I usually don't keep my phone with me unless I'm live in that. So I got the phone and I took it out on the porch and I set it down and I got a couple beers. And so I'm drinking the beers and I'm like, I don't know, I'm just waiting for like a sign one way or the other, right? Because well, let me little backup. One time I had a really bad like heartburn thing. This is I don't know, years back in that, but it was the same kind of thing. And it was just this intense pain, and I like couldn't sleep and so, but there wasn't the left arm thing with it. And plus, when it first happened, it kind of came up from my stomach. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not having a heart attack. I'm just having some sort of heartburn or something like that. And plus, my chest wasn't tight. I wasn't, my heart wasn't unusual. I wasn't, short breathing or anything. So I said, I got here. I sat on the porch and I just kept like, kind of like asking myself, and kept picking up the phone. And I'm like, no, it's not. And then picking up the phone, because I kept was like, when this isn't going away. I thought if I sat here for half hour, something would go away, or there'd be a sign that it's something else, not a heart attack. So I kept kind of picking up the phone and like, should I dial 911? Should I do this? And then, well, luckily for me, all of a sudden, the pain, which was right here, I mean, it wasn't on my left side, it was on my right side. All of a sudden, it actually started moving down. And I kind of felt, kind of gas kind of move or something. And then it kind of slid and started going like to my right, like over underneath my ribs. So that's when I'm like, okay. What's up, David? Middle of my last, I'm starting a story before the story about my last 3 days and why I'm kind of not in the best of conditions right now. So yeah, once it started moving, I was like, okay, well, it's obviously I got that stupid heartburn stuff again. Blah blah blah. Thank God it's not. And my arm started not hurting as much. So I sit out there, and then there's this pain here, and then it starts kind of moving around, but it's staying, on my right side for the most part. So I'm like, okay, heart attacks, it's usually on the left side where your heart is. I think I'm doing fine. I think I'm doing good. Um, well, it never went away. It never went away all night long. And I couldn't sleep. I couldn't lay down because no matter how I laid or whatever, it was just this intense like burning, like like when you bend your foot and you cramp the bottom of your foot, and there's just that like really intense. It was like that, but it wouldn't go away. And so all night long I didn't sleep. I kept getting up every 20 minutes and going outside and actually walking around the neighborhood. And then I come back in and lay down. It wouldn't go away, so I get up and walk around the neighborhood. And but I was pretty much convinced. I'm like, well, if it was a heart attack, it's been like 4 hours now, 5 hours now. I'm pretty sure I'd be dead, or it would have, locked it off or something. I'm like, this has to be that stupid heartburn thing that I had before. So it ends up, not going away. And then all day yesterday, it didn't go away at all. And when I got up, there was one like right here, and it was just really intense, and it went like all the way through to my back muscle, right by like your shoulder bone. And it was just this like burning and intense thing, and then it kind of moved, and I kind of had things that came up on each side of my under my arm area. I kept suddenly getting these cramps and burning because that's kind of where your intestines kind of go up and back down. And then I had a bunch of them that started like right below my ribs, like in my stomach area. And so I not only did I not sleep all night, the next day I couldn't sit down. I tried to edit, but if I sat down, my chest would just start killing me, and I basically just stood up or walked around for like over 24 hours. And then last night, I started taking some Advil and some other stuff. So by the end of the night, it got down to that one that was right here. And it kind of gone away, and then all of a sudden it came back at the end. And I'm like, why is this one? This one's the most intense one. Why? So I took some Advil right before I went to bed, and all of a sudden it went away. And I'm like, thank God I'll finally be able to sleep. I mean, I didn't sleep at all because of the excruciating pain yesterday. So I go to lay down, and every time I move, I mean, the muscle pain had gone away, the chest pain and that, but every time I move, like my muscles hurt. Like right now, if I cough or something, my chest hurts like crazy. I don't know if somehow I pulled a muscle in, but everything was like aching, and it felt like I got trampled on by like elephants when I finally lay down to go to bed. So again, last night, I never slept at all. And finally, when I got up this morning, it was gone. And I've never had nothing with it today at all. But what I found out was, those steels I've been drinking, and those like 4 whatevers, those like the juicy ones that are very acidic. That, and I've been drinking the wine. All things that are very acidic. And the last few days, I hadn't been drinking much water, just pretty much drinking the beer and the wine, and not having much food. And so I think basically what I did was sort of like lactic acid buildup in a lot of athletes and that. And I start getting stomach cramps or leg cramps and muscle cramps. basically, I just think I overloaded my body with acidic. And so that was all the muscles for some reason, my chest and in my intestine and everything just knotting up. And so I was just so scared though that it was a classic heart attack sort of response with this intense chest pain and kind of my left arm. And so, yeah, so I haven't slept in 2 days, well, 2.5 days. And on top of all that, I get migraines. I haven't had one in a year and a half. I get the migraines where you get the flashy lights and you lose your vision. When I opened my eyes this morning, I was having a migraine. And I'm like, really? I haven't had one in a year and a half, and this is when it decides to give me one? Is after the 2 days I've just spent? Well, about a half hour later, I open my eyes, and it's recycling. I'm having another one. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't had, clusters of them in probably like 3 years or something. So I get up, I go outside, I come in here, and I'm just trying to get myself, I don't know, I'm just so worn out and beat up after the last 2 days. I come in, I sit down and edit. I start having another migraine. And so I go back outside, and then I come back in, and I start having another migraine. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing's just going to keep cycling. Like, this is, so I left and went to El Estero. Just didn't film it or anything, just went there to kind of just sit down, relax, throw a pull out for the corn and that. On the way there, another migraine happened. And then when I sat down and started fishing, another one. So I had like 6 cycles of migraines from like 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock today. My head feels like it has freaking marbles in it. If I bend over and then I get this really bad pain like above this eye. And plus that, like my chest, I can't breathe in deep because it's all sore. My back muscles. So that was kind of why I was like, do I really want to go live? Like, but yeah, I'm here. I thought I was gonna be dead, so I might as well go live. So yeah, I'm actually sticking to. I'm probably cutting back on it, but just normal beer, not all that acidic stuff anymore. Exactly. I know. I didn't drink it. I just drank nothing but water yesterday. Just nothing but water. But yeah, I just kept thinking about, oh, should I turn around and go to the hospital? No, I'm pretty sure I figured out what it was. So the clue was because your heart doesn't move, and usually when it's a heart attack or whatever, it's in one of the valves or something that's causing it. So if it's in your chest and it's an intense pain, it won't move around. So once it started moving and kind of actually going to the left and kind of where my intestines were in that, I'm like, oh, thank God, this is probably just whatever that heartburn was I had years ago. The same sort of intense chest pain thing. But I didn't, yeah, go to the hospital and they think you're having a heart attack and they pull you in, they look at you and go, just having heartburn. It's like, why are you freaking out? But it was scary for a while. Yeah, well, I would drink the whole bottle. Plus, I would have one of those other things too. Those steels, where I'd have one of those Four Locos, which are like 12% in that. But it's just that syrupy, acidic. And yeah, I think and the migraines are usually caused from, it's a nerve in your optic nerve, and it pinches off. The one I have, and it's often from dehydration. And recently I found out it's from chocolate, but it's from it constricting. So I think after all that stuff that it did to my insides and my muscles, the last thing it got to on its way out, the last thing it got to on the way out was it made its way into my brain. And that's what caused the optic nerve to constrict, because that's what you get when you get the cramps and that from this acid in that they tighten up and they ball up. So yeah, I think that was just like last hurrah after making me suffer for 2.5 days was to give me 6 migraines in a row on its way like out of my body. It's like, don't do this again. Here, want another reminder? We'll F with your vision now. We'll make you blind. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't have been drinking those things. I should have just stuck with. I do have one the regular beer, not all that really syrupy. And the wine too is like highly acidic. So I learned my lesson. Pain on both. Wow, really? Had the same, and I had acid reflux as well. Thought the same. My pain on both. I ended up having 3 heart attacks back to back. Obviously, you survived them. Your, my tropians are probably up. Where are the tropians from? I don't know what those are. Well, then you'd be. You had the same thing, but like no shortness of breath, no like no chest. Yeah, I had aspirin. I had actually had Bayer, two bears. That's definitely. You had all that with the like shortness of breath and the chest thing, because that was my one kind of thing was because I'd had it before and I thought I was having a heart attack, but this was like 20 years ago, and I couldn't, but I don't know. It might have been a mild heart attack, but I said I kept putting my hand in my chest and that, and my heart was constant. It wasn't fluttering or doing anything different other than beating a little fast because I was freaking out, which is going to raise your heart rate and everything else. But yeah, the arm too. The arm is still hurting after the chest pain and everything went away. My arm was still hurting, and my right arm was killing me too on both sides. We're all in the tendons. I think it's part of the acidity thing was getting in the muscles and stuff in my arms too, because they were both like really, really sore and hurt. And I know it's not your right arm that does anything too. But yeah, it wasn't fun, like I said. And the other fact that it shot up really quick from my stomach. You don't have to have what? Don't have to have breathing. Oh, okay. All right, then I probably will. Really? You had it 4 days before you had the heart attack? Wow. All right, you're scaring me, buddy. Not really. Just looking out for me. Yeah, like I said, no, mine. It it yeah. Once I started the chest pain, started moving around on that, and basically, I mean, next day it went away. But you're having them day after day. Well, if it happens again, then yeah. If it happens again, then I'm definitely not. Yeah, I won't mess with it next time because yeah. And like I said, I don't know, I'm pretty good at knowing my body and figuring out. And usually when things happen, I it's something I've been doing that's different or something that's unusual. Like when I figured out migraines are triggering or chocolates were triggering my migraine. I hadn't had one. I had 4 days of eating chocolate, and I had 4 migraines in like 3 days. And I knew I was drinking a lot. And everything. I'm like, all right, something else. The only thing different is eating it. Migraines is attacked by blood pressure. Yeah, I said mine is my dad had them, and I've been having them since I was like 10. But I said mine pinches off that nerve. You stress a lot. only when I have that intense chest pain out of nowhere. Then I'm stressed quite a bit. No, I got one of the stress tests not that long ago. I seem to be fine, and I don't really have a history of it in my family. I don't think I have any real family members on my mom and my dad's side that have had heart attacks. So I say a lot of it is hereditary. So I don't know. Like I said, once it started moving around, but like he said he had the same exact thing. Yeah, no, these were. Yeah, I know my migraines what they cause from the doctor. It's from it's the optic nerve pinches. That's why it's usually caused from dehydration. Because I actually moved here. I had them in LA all the time. I used to skateboard and not drink any water. That's when I started having them a lot. Then I moved here to Pebble Beach. Didn't have them for 4 years. And I went back down to slow when it was like 110, 112. I was drinking Coke a lot. I wasn't drinking any water. And all of a sudden I started having my migraines all the time again. So I was able to figure out that, yeah, it was from the dehydration. And then just recently, for some reason, it's the chocolate for some reason triggers it, which is a known trigger for it. But yeah, thanks guys. That's what I want to tell you guys. You guys give me some insights and that. So luckily mine it went away today. Then day 3. Oh, you got your back? Yeah, well I have back pain all the time with me. I mean, there's days where I'm fishing and I can't even I get such intense back pain and it's like I can't even but yeah, in the back, because mine was, yeah, I mean, my back was killing me because I, I, I didn't even sleep all night. I didn't even lay down and I was walking around. And then when I sat up, I couldn't even sit right and green tea and yoga. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I said it was just that night. It was later that night and then yesterday. And then it went away so far. But yeah, definitely if it does come back and I'm not drinking all that acidic stuff and that, yeah, I probably go get checked out because I'm pretty sure what the trigger was. But if it says that if it happens again and I'm not doing any of that stuff, but just regular beer, like it never happened when I drink regular beer, then yeah, I definitely might drive myself to the hospital right away. Pain shot from front to back. Oh, it left. Great, you're encouraging me so much. No, thank you though. Yeah, because I've talked to people that have had them, like major ones and that, but I've never talked to people that have sort of mild ones that, well, didn't kill them when it happened. Uh, well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know I'm an idiot a lot of times because I didn't go in. Like I said, when I got that sign, and but since yours was going from front to back, front to back, what was it on? Where was the pain? The whole chest, or just on the left side, or in the middle? Just like center right here, or like everywhere in your chest? Because that's what I was wondering. Most people they say it's like one spot. Where's Dr. Hambone? Exactly. Where's the real doctor here? I said mine would move. I mean, it moved all the way over to like under my right arm, and then a bunch of it was up here on the top of my left arm. But I started feeling like gas movement as it was over here, like it was going through my intestines. As I was like, what? And then I could feel it kind of moving. But yeah, definitely if it comes back within the next day or two or something like that, yeah, I'll definitely go and I'll listen to my viewers. and then I'll go straight there this time instead of driving home and freaking out for hours until it finally moved away. It's interesting. I'll have to look that up. Not that I don't believe you, but okay. Well, we started out on a cheery note. Let's just say that. Uh, Mine moved as well. And I thought, wait, what? Mine moved as well. And I thought to right side is also a big side as well as, well, and 90% for women. That it moves to the right where the heart isn't. Interesting. Okay. Thanks. All right. Thanks. I'll said, but yours kept reoccurring because I said that's the first time that's happened. But I said if it comes back anytime soon, yeah, I know. I know. I'm the worst about going to the doctor. Trust me. I always self-diagnose it. But yeah. I know everybody said they've been laughing at that. That was a good one. Okay, we got some people on here. Let me get into this. Why I'm actually called. I don't know where they are. Chris hasn't been on in a while, so I really don't know. Yours happened in a 3 day, in a 4 day. Mine happened in a 3 to 4 day period of time. Okay, and then so you're telling me is if anything like this in the next day or two, that's a sign, probably. I would assume. Because I said it was just that, and then it went away. So far, I didn't have anything last night after I went to bed, and yeah, that's what I said. I'm pretty sure. I was pretty sure I had it figured out what it was because I was drinking a lot of that acid stuff, a lot, and no water, hardly eating anything. So I don't know if that triggers heart attacks or not, but might have been. But yeah, I'll definitely, if anything like this, if it starts to happen again in the next couple of days, whatever, I'll definitely go in. Thank you, because I thought it was just gonna be, a one-time thing. Yeah. Well, see, I thought when I was a lot younger in college, it was the same thing. I had the same sort of pain and everything, and I thought it was a heart attack and all that. But then I talked to somebody, and or one of my older managers at work, and she goes, "Oh, little Scotty had heartburn." I'm all, "Was that heartburn?" Because I don't like that. I'm all, I thought I was having a heart attack like all night. I don't know why that one happened either. I'd never had it before or anything. I haven't had it since until this occurrence right now. I don't know if I was maybe drinking wine back then or something like that that caused it, but and I've been having stomach issues anyway with kind of heartburn and some other stuff from drinking that kind of beer and that. So I don't know, but I'll definitely keep track next, like you said, next couple of days. Anything like that comes back, any sort of chest pain or whatever, I'll definitely go in right away. Thank you very much for that. Two strikes, don't wait for three. Yeah, you're probably right. All right, let me get into why I'm called Two Scoops. Why I'm called Two Scoops at the FLW tournaments. And it was given to me by Au. Forget his first name, whatever, but it's whatever Au. It's like a two-name first. and second. Anyway, he's out of Arizona. And so we get there and he tells me, he goes, oh, okay, I brought my little boat. Because, usually I'm on like a nice 20-foot, 21-foot Ranger, all that stuff. He's like, oh, I brought my little aluminum boat. And I'm all, what do you mean? He goes, oh, yeah, I brought the place that I want to get to. I can't get into it with a bigger boat. So I need to take my little tracker. And it only has like a 35 horse on it, or maybe a 40. And it's a pretty long run. So I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. So we get there next day, we get in this boat. Everybody else takes off. It takes us like, God, I don't know, like 40 minutes probably to get to the spot. And all of a sudden he's going in, he makes his turn. And all of a sudden he makes this other turn, and I see these two poles in the water, and I see a canal behind it. And it's all covered with reeds on each side. And the two of the poles are kind of spread apart. And I'm kind of like, okay, where the hell is he taking me? Like, where the hell are we going? And so the boat kind of hits on each side as we go through it. And then we start going through the canal. And all of a sudden he makes us right. And it's just basically he makes it right into the reeds. And he sits up on his back on his seat and starts driving from like up and top, because the reeds are like 6 feet tall and you can't see through them. I'm just sitting in the back and like reeds are hitting me and reeds. And it's like a walking path. I mean, it shouldn't have a boat in it. I don't even know how I found this place. I just found it on Google. But anyway, so it's going through, and it's like 30 yards through these tulies. And he has to keep turning and turning. He like comes to a fork and he's like, oh, is it? Oh no, it's this one and this. So all of a sudden we pop out into this canal. And it's a canal where I guess they do duck hunting. Yeah, I finally got it all out. Yeah, so we pop into this canal, and he's like, yeah, dude, this thing is loaded with 3 and 4 pounders. He's like, I don't know if I'll win it here, but if we can't stay in here that long because of the tides, but we get a good limit here and we go out and I get a couple kickers, I can do pretty good. And he goes, yeah, if you get a limit, you're going to have like 15 pounds easy or something. So I'm like, cool, sounds good. So he goes along, he starts flipping that. All of a sudden he picks up a bladed jig. And I'm like, ooh, bladed jig. And I had our jitter jigs at the time. And I think it was a little bit after that show where I knocked them all at a Pinto. So I was used to it. I've been fishing a lot. And so I put it on. I actually hooked 3 fish. All 3 of them got off. And he hadn't even got a bite. So he was kind of like, first time knowing me. And he was kind of giving me that sort of standoffish kind of thing where, because I saw what he was throwing and I threw in sort of similar, but I get bites and he wasn't getting anything. So we're back in there for a while. And there's this guy in this boat, worker guy. He had buckets and he had like buckets and hoses and stuff. And I don't know if he worked for the people that did the duck blinds or whatever. So he goes by us the first time. We say hi. And then a little bit later, he goes back by us. Doesn't say anything. He's just like looking at us as he goes by, and we kind of wave. Then he comes back the third time. And he pulls up and goes, you guys are on private property. I got your VIN number. I'm going to call the tournament director. You're going to lose all of your weight. You're going to be kicked out of the freaking tournament and this and that. And he just keeps going down the canal. And Vu, that's what it is, Vu. Vu looks at me and goes, dude, you think he's serious? I'm like, I don't know, dude. He sounded pretty damn serious. He's like, well, if we leave, he's already got our VIN number. He's like, I don't know. Maybe he was just joking around. I'm like, I don't know, dude. He sounded pretty damn serious that time. I mean, he was yelling that at us. And so we just keep fishing. Also, he comes back the other way, and Vu's like, oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Let's see what he says this time. Well, this time he pulls up to us and goes, oh, guys, I was just kidding. I just wanted to like scare you guys. And we're all like, thank God. So we end up talking to him. Vu starts asking him about the duck, how to get a blind here, how to hunt here, because he's trying to, kind of getting the guy's good side and all that, asking for a card and stuff. And so we're in there, and at this time I had 3 fish. Vu had his limit. I think he'd already culled once or twice. So yeah, we were in there, and I'm like, okay, everything's good. We got our fish. And sorry guys, just freaking out about something. I think I'm having another migraine, possibly, maybe. Anyway, I'll finish the story. um, yeah, so we're in there, and he kind of, does this whole thing, tells us like, oh, yeah, you guys should, and then he comes back and says, oh no, you're fine, you're fine. I was just kidding. I was just kind of making fun, blah blah blah. And so we end up staying there, and I catch my fourth. Fourth one I caught was actually it was a it was a pretty good fish, but the second I took the hook out and I started bleeding like crazy. So it's bleeding like crazy. Vu's like, oh man, I don't know if that thing's gonna live. I'm like, oh, if I catch another one right away or whatever, I can just let it go. And he goes, yeah, but we're not gonna be in here that much longer because we got to get out before the tide because it's going down, and that canal we came in is just gonna be a little stream. So I'm like, all right. So we go back, we get close to where we're gonna leave, where we're gonna go out. Throw out. I hook a really good fish, ends up being a striper. I'm like, oh man, that would have been perfect. I would have had my limit. We could have been out of there. I could have had like 15, 16 pounds. That would have been perfect. But it didn't happen. And he's like, all right, dude, well, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. So he heads back down, and that little canal we came in is now like a stream. And there's no water to the edges to the reeds where we came in. It's just basically a little creek. And we're coming out of the reeds. And so he slides down, lifts up the motor, slides down. We turn sideways. And he starts bumping and bumping and bumping down the canal. Just bumpity, bumpity, bumpity. We finally get kind of close to where the poles are. And so he puts the engine down some. And luckily we get ourselves out. So we go out. We go to head to some other spots. And all of a sudden he's like, dude, the trolling motor, the live well isn't working. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, dude, it's not pumping. It's not pumping. I'm like, what do you mean it's not pumping? Like, what'd you do? And he's like, oh, and he took one of my rods had broke. So I gave him the rod and he stuck it down. And he's like, no, dude, I don't know what's up. It won't work. It won't work. I'm here. And he opens one of his side boxes and he takes out the liner inside it. Well, the liner has a whole bunch of holes around the side, right? So he goes, here, scoop water in it. And so I'm like, dude, this thing has holes. And he's like, it's all I got. So I'm like scooping a bunch of water in it, scooping a bunch of water in it. Hence, you can probably figure out where I got the 2 scoop from. So anyway, we leave that spot. He actually goes to a spot for frogging. He actually catches a 6 and an 8 on the frog. So he's now got like a 22, 23 pound limit, like a really good limit. And I'm all like, oh, wow, man. Like, damn it. I have 4. The one's dead. So I'm going to get a penalty. And it's like, luckily it was like 3.5, 3 1/4. So you get a 1/4 ounce penalty. So that wasn't that bad. So we go out and like he did the fraud and he went to a punch spot. And so I'm like, I'm not going into that spot where he is, but I have on our flicking and I'm just kind of throwing at the edge of the hyacinth, all the mads and bouncing it and bouncing it. And I end up catching like 3 or 4 fish. So I get my limit, but the ones I caught were like a pound, pound a quarter. I think I called once or twice, but only by ounces. So we end up going in for the day. I weigh in, I think 13 something pounds or 12 something pounds with the dead fish. And so I'm like, okay, cool. If I get another like 12, 13 pounds tomorrow. Oh, and I've got to say, all day long, sorry, the whole 2 scoop story, I kind of did it once, but no, about every 10 minutes during the rest of the 4 hours, he made me put 2 scoops in, 2 scoops. He'd like stop. If we got on plane, he'd stop and go, dude, put in 2 scoops, put in 2 scoops. So that's where the whole 2 scoop. And they told the story to everybody, so everybody calls me 2 scoop now, which is, I don't know, kind of cool, kind of annoying, but kind of cool. So so that was into day 1. I'm doing pretty good. I figure if I can get another, 10, 12 pounds the next day, I might have a top 10 because usually it's around $24 that £24 that'll get you into the top 10. So I'm feeling good about that. And so the next day I was with Roy Hawk, who's now actually on the Bassmasters. He was doing something completely different. Obviously, he was out on the main water. He was throwing a spook around all day. I had a little spook in that, but I'm kind of like, I don't want to throw the same thing as him. I don't really know, what am I going to do? Where am I going to follow it? Or how am I going to follow it up? And I talked to a guy, one of my co-anglers, and he goes, yeah, I'm just going to throw around a fluke tomorrow. I'm all fluke. He goes, yeah, dude, I caught all my fish just throwing around the fluke today. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So now I have a game plan. He's going to be throwing around the spook all day. I'll throw around the fluke. So we go out, and he spent all day. I mean, I'm talking all day with the big Zara spook, the super spook in the baby bass, just all day long. And this is his pattern with it. He goes like this. Doom, 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 doom. And so he's doing that, and I'm throwing the fluke, and I caught a limit, but it was, like 8 pounds. Then I actually caught a couple that I could cull with, and but I was only culling by ounces, like very, ounce here, ounce there. So yeah, I was just like, damn it, this isn't going to help me. I knew I had about 10 pounds, and I said, if I got maybe another 12, 13 pounds, I could probably make top 10, right? Well, yeah. It ended up that I got about 10 pounds. And with that, I ended up in 19th place. And it was about 2 pounds. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was about 2 pounds out of a top 10. So I don't know if that one wouldn't have died and I would have caught another keeper in that first place because they were averaging 2 to 3 pounds. Hey, Jay Jones. I probably would have had, with what I caught the second day, I probably would have had enough to make the top 10, which I made $800 for 19th place. But I could have made a lot more, over 1,000 or something, or 1,200, if I would have been able to make it past into, the top 10. And it would have been my only top 10 I ever made. So yeah, guys, that's kind of that's my 2 scoop story. And yeah, it was funny after that because I came to like the next tournament, which I think Clear Lake something. He's like, he walks by me, goes, hey, 2 scoop. And all of a sudden I went up to somebody else or something. They're like, hey, 2 scoop. Hey, 2 scoop. I'm like, what? Did he tell everybody the story? Because now everybody's calling me 2 scoop. So yeah. So it's kind of interesting. That's suddenly my sort of nicknamey at the FLWs is 2 scoops. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry, but I might have to cut this one short. Because like I said, I had the 6 migraines this morning, and now I'm actually having another one. And this one's actually on the opposite side. Sometimes I switch. This is the first one on the other side. Yeah, I can't even see. With my eyes right now, I can't even read, guys. Sorry. Wait, what? 40% FCC makes only 45 years old. Please don't get yourself. Please do get yourself checked. Okay. Sorry, I said I'm half blind right now. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I will. Are you thinking it's because of the migraines too after that happened? A correlation between them? Because I've had these cycling migraines before. Clusters of them where they have them over and over and over and over for like an hour and all that. But there was no chest pain or anything like that ever associated with them. It was just a lot of it was because I was drinking a lot of beer and not drinking any water and everything. I dehydrated myself so much that they just kept reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring. And yeah, it scared the hell out of me because I thought I was gonna be blind forever. Yeah, go back and watch it. I had some like chest pains the last couple days, but I was thinking there was a lot of it was from uh, heartburn or that kind of thing, or the fact I've been drinking all that wine and all the other stuff, and I built up a lot of acidity in my body. And now, because of that, I haven't had a migraine in like a year and a half, but I woke up to and had 6 migraines today, and I'm actually having one right now. But it happens a lot when I'm like stress myself out, or like I said, I haven't slept in 2 days. Don't be stubborn. Exactly. Well, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you guys. I said I've been getting these things since I was 12. So I know as far as my migraines, people are like, "Oh, you should go get that checked out. You might have like a brain tumor or something." I'm like, "Well, if I have a brain tumor, it's a pretty damn slow growing one because I've been getting them since I was 10, and my dad had them, and I think his mom had them." Um, so yeah, and they usually occur. I really had some migraines right after you started having your chest pain. Interesting. Alrighty. Guess you're all leading up to the fact that heart attack time. Yeah, I'm hoping not. I know, I know. I know I just didn't I mean I didn't I correlated the acidity and the constriction of having that to having the migraines because I said I've done this to myself a lot in the past with the migraines, hot weather and everything else, not drinking, not drinking. I tell myself, you know what? You need to drink some water, and suddenly the next day I'll have like a bunch of migraines in a row. So that's kind of what I was correlating that to. But like you said, it was different with you. So yeah, I know. That's why I said it could be the acidity in that. I said I've been having sort of acidity problems with my stomach anyway. And yeah, and like I said, the migraines, as I said, I've been having for a long time. It's the first time one's ever been associated with having chest pains. But you definitely gave me some good advice. So yeah, this is a big one. The one that's going on this side is way bigger than the ones I had on the other side earlier. They were more mild. I don't think I've had one on my right side for a while. That's where they actually started. And I started having most of them on the left side. But this one's actually going on the right side. But all right, guys. Yeah, I'm kind of freaking out now. But thanks a lot. Thanks for all the advice. And I have another show coming up. Uh, I don't know. I was hoping to get some editing done tonight. That's another reason I was kind of cutting it short. But if I start having recurring um, migraines again, I'm probably not going to have time to do any editing. But hopefully there'll be a show up tomorrow. It's an Anderson show, and I have another Striper show coming, and I have 2 carp shows that I did coming up. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Like I said, thanks for all the advice and everything. But like I said, I'm gonna call this one early just because I can't really read the comments and stuff. So, but I'll update Friday. I'll be up Friday late night. So yeah, I have a problem with that too. Second something happens, I have panic and anxiety attacks. So that that could be part of because that causes more stress, which stress also causes the migraines. as well as causing heart attacks to those. Yeah. Yeah. I really, when it's happened to somebody else, I'm fine. When it's happening to me, I freak out. But yeah, this is a bummer. The last one cycled, it was 4 o'clock, and figured I was done with it. Never came back. So I figured I'd hydrate and everything, drink a bunch more water. Oh yeah, yeah, because it helps it. Like I said, mine's from constriction. Yeah, I had just a bummer this one started on this side. But I said one of the big things with migraines is stress too. And I've definitely been stressed the last 2 days. So I could definitely see it causing a cluster of them. But it's just a clusterfuck. All right. Yeah, I keep saying I'm out, guys, but yeah, I'm out. I said I'll check up. I'll I'll check in on Friday. I'll do the late night on Friday. Tell you if there's any updates between now and then as far as any reoccurring symptoms. But thanks a lot, guys. It's kind of why I went live, just so I could get some feedback and talk to people. Just lighten the mood. All right, yeah, guys. I can't even read the comments, but yeah, I'll update you on Friday. I'll be back for late night on Friday if you guys show up, or I might go live fishing soon. All right, guys. Thanks. I'm out. Okie dokie. Oh, wait.